This is 5 Minutes to Change Your Life with me, Joanne Mallon, and a special series of episodes to get your year off to a cracker start. It's the A to Z of how to lift yourself. Hello, and welcome to day 21 of the A to Z of how to lift yourself. Hey, we're getting into the final chapter here now, lads. Thank you so much for being here. Are you coming with me all the way to the end? Really hope you are, because it's not long now. And by the way, as I finish off these last few episodes of our alphabet, I'm naturally thinking ahead to what comes next. I can tell you that a podcasting break is coming next for sure. I've earned that. But I'd really love to hear from you about what you'd like to hear next on this podcast. So if there's a topic you'd like to hear covered, a question that you'd like me to answer, maybe a dilemma that you're struggling with, anything at all, let me know and I'll do my best to include it in a future 5 Minutes show. And how to get in touch is right there in the show notes, wherever you're listening. By the way, if you wanted to leave a rating or review, well, that would be super fantastic too. So we've come to the letter U in our alphabet, and U is for the word unstoppable. I was thinking about this because my Spotify list of the most listened to songs from last year tells me that the song Unstoppable by Sia was something I clearly listened to an awful lot in the last year. I'm not quite sure how that happened because it's not really my usual kind of thing. You know, I tend to like a lot of drums, guitars, noisy stuff. So this is a bit of an outlier for me. I'm sure you'll know the song Unstoppable. It's been everywhere. It was a huge hit. Gets used an awful lot in adverts. It's generally regarded as an anthem of empowerment because the chorus has this line, "I'm unstoppable today." And then Sia goes on to sing, "I'm invincible, I'm so powerful, I'm so confident. Yeah, I'm unstoppable." So you can see how something like that is going to be a big uplifty song that people are going to be channeling for those fist in the air kind of moments. However, whilst that might be what's going on in the chorus, if you go back and listen to the lyrics in the verses of Unstoppable, something very different going on. I suspect that this is why I go back to this song a lot, because there is much more than meets the eye to it. The verses are all about being vulnerable, keeping your armour on, hiding your sadness, waiting until you're by yourself to cry. The verses are all about what it's like to feel like you're crumbling inside, even though from the outside you might appear to other people to be tremendously powerful. How we show up in the world is so often very different to what's going on under the surface. And this relates to something that I often talk to clients about, how it's a bad idea to compare yourself with anybody else, because you can only ever compare their outside with your inside. And they're completely different things. You know, the person who appears to be brimming with confidence and success, who looks invincible on the outside, might very likely be a wreck on the inside, but you won't know that. They may be dealing with a ton of things that they're never going to tell you about. Just as I would guess you're probably dealing with a bunch of stuff that you don't tell anybody about either. The mask is not the person. The mask may very well be the opposite of the real person underneath. Don't be fooled by the mask. I kind of wish that so many of us didn't feel like we have to protect ourselves with a mask, but can't honestly see that happening anytime soon. Ultimately, I think what I'm taking from this song is that the appearance of supposedly being unstoppable is a fallacy and no true reflection of who a person really is. And also that trying to be unstoppable probably isn't such a good idea anyway, you know? I mentioned a few days ago, giving yourself permission to pause, to stop, is probably going to be one of the most useful, most kindest things that you can do for yourself. So rather than aiming for being unstoppable today, because as we've seen, even C is not really doing that. Instead, I want to nudge you in the direction of persistence, okay? Being persistent, keeping going, putting one foot in front of the other, even in times of adversity, not giving up, even if life is not going the way you'd like it to. This is what will ultimately move you beyond tough times into better times. And I'm sure, like me, you've had times when you've had no choice but to be persistent because you still have people who rely on you. You've got to keep going. So I'd invite you today to just take some time to think about times in your life when everything had gone to shit, but you kept on going and you're still here today. Be proud of your own persistence. It's not quite the same as being unstoppable, because I think with persistence you can still pause and take a breath. In fact, you must pause and take a breath. It's a good thing to do. Hey, I tell you what, did anybody ever write a rousing anthem about persistence? I haven't found one, but I really think we need one. Let me know if you've heard one. I'll talk to you soon.